Oh, greetings. Thanks for joining us. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by a complete and utter damnation and insanity. So I wasn't gonna go into this. Maybe I'm not done with this yet. So, Jimmy Carter 2.0. I'm not sure if that's funny or not, but it kind of is. So we're pretty much dealing with the modern version of Jimmy Carter. So I just want to put my 2 cents out there, and nobody knows what the future holds. That's the joy of it. So, we went through a hacking situation with the oil refineries. So that's all kind of screwed up. We have the border situation, that kind of thing. So I would say expect these kind of little things happening. I don't see the economy blowing up. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the situations are going to happen like what we're having now, and more is on the way. Not that it's going to be the end of the times, or things are breaking down. So I just expect this is kind of like the new normal for right now. But I wouldn't put worry out there or anything like that. Like the economy crash. I mean, this economy is not going to be perfect. It's going to have its problem. But people keep saying that the economy is going to crash and crash. They've been saying that forever. It's like if you keep saying it for 5 years, it might happen eventually. But I don't think it's, of course, nobody really knows. I don't think that's going to happen. So it's like a war with China or something like that. It's like, you think it's going to happen, but but the economy is going to go up and down. But yeah, I would say expect the unexpected. And we pretty much are dealing with Jimmy Carter 2.0. I might as well just probably put that at the time if I can remember tomorrow. Because pretty much is what we're dealing with. It's a retard of our time, but that's the way it's supposed to be. So, I mean, at least it'll keep things interesting. So also the World Economic Forum. So there's an event called 201. So if you look up event 201, you'll see in October 2019. I'm surprised I ever found it. I just found the World Economic. I didn't know though. I don't think I ever knew they existed. To be honest with you. Maybe. I mean, there's so many different forums and whatever's. I mean, who cares? I've heard of the World Bank, and I think there's something else, but I don't think they hit these guys. Don't come into the. They don't really hit the mainstream very often. That's probably why. The World Bank you hear about every once in a while, but the World Economic Forum, they are based in Switzerland, and they just seem to have a way of predicting the future, such as with the oil refinery situation. I kind of choose my words carefully. So back in, I'm not going into super detail here, but on October 19th, you looked at event 2001, or 2001, 201, 201, whatever, 201. They're running scenarios of pretty much what we went through into last year. And it just happened to do in October right before it all hit. What a coincidence. There's also, there's an article about, it's just a coincidence. So, I found the World Economic Forum. So they're just known to predict the future. So I'm going to tap some into that, and Saturn return of some Saturn energies. But I'm also going to connect to Switzerland and see where that goes. So, so right now we have Jimmy Carter running our modern version of it. That's not a good thing, but it's one way to break things down, and it's really hard to say what the future holds. It just expect some things falling apart. Let's put it that way. This is the new normal. They were definitely planning on a new event. Wasn't sure what it was, and we're kind of going through it right now. And we're not. I don't think they have just gotten started with it. So I would just say expect the unexpected. It's gonna be hard to predict where things are going. But we have Jimmy Carter in charge, or whatever you want to call that. So I just like saying that because I think it's funny. Because it's true. It's too damn true. So yeah, we just do our own mediocrity uh, with him and whatever he is. So whatever that thing is doing there. All right. Because I'm tired of comedy private sessions. We're on I think the 26th or 25th for some people, and I think I'm further back for others. Like on the still on the 11th or something like that. Same situation here. Sign up for webinar, social network. I post some stuff here today. The rabbit behind the scenes and dating site, and so this is the event. You know what I'm talking about. So they don't go into too much detail here. They give you a date of when they're putting it together, and yeah, you have to do a little bit more research on it. But yeah, I don't want to go into super detail. But here it says an exercise, and it's just a coincidence. So it's full fact. If you do a search on this event, 201, I'd be surprised what you'll find. So it just felt when I was tapping into this, it felt Saturn energies. So for the so where the world is going into shambles, it's like I said, it's gonna. I still feel it's gonna be impossible to predict anything. So just I guess I expect the unexpected. So so what we tap into, I guess we can. I guess we can tap into Biden's higher self. Why not? I tap into Biden's higher self, and we'll go into the Economic World Forum. What's happened to that energy? But I definitely do Switzerland energies. Basically, those are controlling the world. I mean, they have CERN there, so they just do it really quietly, nonchalant. Just very, everyone's wearing well dressed. I mean, during World War II, I don't think Switzerland got messed with at all. And so, obviously, who's running the show here? So, all right. Okay, we'll do Biden's higher self. Of course, there might be some bias there, but who knows? We'll see what we get. It's like I'm tapping to a virus. So, okay, all right, blessings. Here we go. Yeah, second thought. Yeah, because that's too toxic. We do. This is too toxic. It's just too disgusting. We're going to future consciousness, something like that. All right. Greetings. We are the consciousness of your reality. Your timeline is where everything is put together. You are the guideline of your existence, the main timeline of your planet. So, of course, yes, it's always going to be some kind of suffering on your planet because that is what you came here for. To learn more about yourselves, of course, is unlocking a lot of the comfort zones that many souls, the souls that have had it very easy in the higher dimensions. It'd be nice to open up that shell and see what else is there. What else they have to offer. Because they get so used to it's like, taking an innocent energy and breaking it open and see what happens. That's what this world does. It takes comfort energy beings and really shaking them up, breaking breaking them open and seeing what they can do. Sometimes it'll be darkness, sometimes it'll be light. There's all different types of vibrations, but it also helps the Earth go into a new direction. And as you probably see, those at a higher vibrational source, that some of them do have a dark side. Obviously, they're hiding it normally. Of course, we'll leave that open for your interpretation. Well, this planet is here to unlock many realities, unlock other planets. Of course, you're not seeing that here, but you brought that other world energy here. So you're here to bring a new energy to the Earth. Is yes forming into this new vibration. It's just happening slowly. Some of you actually incarnate here for the new technologies to be brought here. So it was like, I'm here, I'll know how to work on that car or that phone or whatever it is that you're here to build. We're here, we're the builders. We're here to make it happen. Notice the building situation in your 1920s when everyone was building a building. Well, yeah, because the workers were here to do it. And a lot of them were Masonic, and some of them were Tatarians also, but in a different form. So, yeah, many of you come here from other places to build upon this world for what the reality that is chosen. And yes, it does cut out Tatarian realities, of course. It shuts it out. So your utopia that you're going into is not going to be a perfect one, but one of more diverse energies. Basically, know the origins of everything. Not even not entirely clear, but you'll just have a more of an idea. Yeah, if you look into it, if you think the future is going to be perfect, you might want to reevaluate your future. You'll just know more about things. You'll just see things more clearly. You just know about Egypt more clearly. You know about yourself more clearly. You know about others more clearly. And it won't be perfect, but you'll just have more knowledge for yourself. So that's what you're building here currently. And it does hurt. Well, you're building up to knowing everything slowly. Maybe not everything, but quite a bit. So infrastructures must go away. And that's what's happening. So yeah, you're going through a culture war of breaking down your old Earth. So it's happening now. So the United States is kind of a powerhouse. So what happens here happens to other places. And that's why many of you are here to bring in this new energy. That's why so many new age people are here currently, scattered about, of course, across the world. But it's almost like the United States is doing like a song, like a sound energy across the world, just a frequency. And it is. You're just not always hearing it. Where everything starts to shift. So it's almost like where things are going right now is like a drum beating. You're just feeling just heavy energies coming down into your reality. Life changes, life events, and expect more. Doesn't mean that some people will see it's the end of the world. Some feel it's about time something at least something different is happening. So yes, expect more chaos energies coming to your Earth. Doesn't mean it'll be the end of the world, far from it. It's all in how you look at it. Some that are connected to the feared timelines, which are many, are already designed themselves for disaster, but then they realize there's no disaster. It's on how you look at things too. So you're connecting more to higher frequencies if you truly want it. And the aliens, they are working here. They're just not making themselves known. When you're working on a project, do you want to go around tapping everyone on the back all the time or making yourself known? You have to keep things hidden for right now because they're assisting your Earth as it shifts into a different vibration force. So they're not making a lot of, yes, humans are making more, realizing they are here, but over time you'll see more of their vibrations tap more into you. It's just you're going through a major change. So if things get really strange here, you'll definitely feel the energies of the aliens even stronger because they want to let you know everything will be okay. Especially those that are feeling thinking they're losing their mind. But some people need to go through what they need to go through too. So not always going to make that indication. So it all depends. Greetings to you. Of course, there are leaders of your planet that are, yes, making rules for you at this time. What many of you agreed upon, don't forget. I mean, just because you did not like the decision, you all agreed upon it anyway. And there's much of that. Some are going to get frustrated with it because of manipulation, but you're on this planet, you decided for its destination. So they're on that bus no matter what. It's not always going to make itself clear. But some souls want something different. Of course. Well, you're used to the lighter, more positive realities, but that's why many of you are here, is to, yes, to bring in a more darker side to some degree. Well, some of you are here to leave your darkness here in this world. So you can go to the higher dimensions. Some aren't realizing that. It's like, why am I going through this darkness? Why are we connected to negativity? Because you're actually opening yourself, you're actually leaving your card, allowing more positivity to come through. And it's just man, you're having difficulties realizing that. You're just releasing it. And some of you have already accomplished that to a certain degree. There's always going to be some kind of darkness. So your World Economic Forum, yes, there are beings that, yes, are playing God, but realize they're put in that position for a reason. So as you're tapping, some of you are actually going to meet these people in the future if you have not already. And see their point of view. It might not be the most positive point of view from them, but it's really the all point. It's all in your point of view too. Of knowing that infrastructure societies have to break. Obviously, those that are holding on to this reality, many want to keep things the way they are. Things have to change. This world is designed to change. People don't like change, so of course they're not going to like what is happening here. So right now, you're seeing like earthquakes in society. Society is going to begin to continue to shift. It's not the end of the world unless you want to create that for your reality. That's entirely up to you. You can make it a birthday party or make it your funeral. Many decide to do the funeral energy. Well, they get so used to the old vibrations, the old way of doing things. They actually make it work for them, even if it's not exactly the best situation, even suffocating energies. By the way, you can make things easier for yourself. Some don't want that. Not to say that's going to happen instantly, but that's what their world is going into a better place. Obviously, it's not going to be easy to see that. Some are having trouble seeing that focus, but that's, yeah, well, some are going to find another world like this where they can do a job and do the 9 to 5 for as long as they want to. Many are not ready to leave that timeline, but many of you are ready to leave that timeline. But you know you're here for some more thing, something else. So yeah, the timelines here, yeah, is very insectoid-like. It's very worker energy. Yeah, and that keeps your reality going. But you're here to heal that. It's been healing for some time, but you're going to see more of that in your future. Where you choose your future, where you choose what you want to do. You have so much freedom to be able to do it yourself. That's the future Earth that you're building. Some of you are experiencing some of that now. You don't know what to do yourself at this moment. But yes, you're going into a more higher dimensional frequency, just how you're going to bring it in. Some are feel like, oh, this isn't going to happen, but change is inevitable. Yes, it's going to be painful for some. It's on how you look at it, once again. For the elites that are creating this reality, of course, they feel no remorse at all. No. Well, that's what they're here to do. They're here to do a job, and yeah, it might be kind of psychotic in some regard. It all depends on how you, but change is inevitable. It has to happen. This world is made to evolve. If that wasn't the case, you'd still be in the 1970s at this time. And you're actually going into a time where people can be more real with themselves. As all the infrastructures of control start to break down, you'll feel like you can actually speak your mind, which right now you feel like you can't do. So this is a blessing in disguise, just hasn't fully finished itself. It's still in the middle of transformation at this time. But we do see timelines where you can actually speak your mind. You might be seen as crazy, but you can speak your mind and not get banned from everything. Especially when you talk about extraterrestrial energies and a lot of talk about spirit energies. I mean, what is there to fear? I mean, you're making going into spirit easier. Understanding the spirit world, actually seeing the spirit world here, where that becomes more of your daily life. When you just see the galactics, but also the spirit dimensions, you see different colors. You just, you're just at a lighter vibration. That's what you're bringing in, as you know. And that's what obviously men are having difficulties with at this time. Well, some would call it death, but it's actually life. So that's what's happening. All the systems are in expiration dates. They're past that actually. So as you just continue on your energy, your vibration, what you want for your future, you will see more freedom within yourself. If you need that freedom, you're connected to others, you'll see more of yourself. Discovering who you are. The more the spiritual knowledge will become easier to tap into, because right now there is many blockages to it. Well, because you're still part of the physical reality, it's not going to make itself completely clear. Not yet. Well, because you still have to function in this reality. But as it starts, the reality is no longer as strong as it is currently. And you can see more of the spirit realms. Because once again, when you start seeing more of the spirit realms, many are going to feel like they've already died. And you're seeing they haven't. It's just that they're seeing something totally different. You're seeing more of the astral realms come closer to your Earth's energy. So, not to say this is going to happen tomorrow, but this is what you're working towards. I see many of your meditation energies will get stronger also. This is just a new vibration altogether. This earth will not have the stronghold as it once did. Based on the physical level. The physical is going to get lighter in your future. It has been over time, but more of like the speaking about telekinesis and things like that will come slowly into your energy field where you can start talking about those things. It's already there, but it's more in the back. You're bringing it more into the foreground. That's what's happening. You're just allowing more of your highest potential to come in. That's what this is all about. So yeah, it's gonna be a rough ride, but you don't have to look at it that way. I mean, change is a good change. Some of you have already seen it that way. I mean, this is a strange time, but it's nice to see events, something happen. When nothing's happening, it's like what's going on? But when you have certain situations, it shows you're going to the different levels, and that's exciting. It's not always easy, but it's exciting at the same time. So it's also preparing you for an alien awareness when the time is right, of course. The idea for alien connections is just, when society right now, it cannot be the same. It has to shift for alien vibration to truly come in. Alien energies, it needs to be part of more of your culture. And it's there, but it's not worldwide. It is, but it's not as much as it could be. Or it's taken more seriously. It's just more of in the background, as you know. It's getting stronger, of course. Every day it's getting stronger. Greetings. This is Saturn. Greetings to you, humbled Earthlings. Well, a lot of the tests from Saturn are releasing from your Earth. There will be a day when you don't have to have 7 days a week. You'll have 6 days a week, 4 days a week, and then no more days a week. Then you will no longer have your calendar as long as it is today. Yes, the calendar currently has all frequency. All the days have a frequency. It's basically your grid that controls society. The days, weeks, time, just your clocks. But eventually they'll remove the clock from the phone itself. You'll still have your phone, what we see, but you'll erase the time portion of it. You don't need it anymore. And off computers and off of me. So that's going to be a major change here. Who the hell needs that anymore? I mean, time here, and that's when humans, yes, that's the next earthquake. Of course, that's not part of the conversation at this time. I mean, of course, you don't have humans still wearing bell bottoms in the 70s. Of course, some of us still enjoy that. They have some kind of strange fetish going on with that. But times have to change. Of course, you have to leave your bell bottoms back in the 70s. So like what time, people are still going to hold on to it when you start releasing it. So, like your current reality, a lot of cards are being dealt of how this is going to go. Not the future. It's almost like a poker game, kind of, but it doesn't have to be seen that way. But it's kind of like some people treat it that way. Let's put it that way. People see it as a game, and you don't have to look at it that way, but your elites see it as a game. They're playing society, humanity. What cards can they pull? And some of you don't want to play it like that, but that's pretty much society. It's pretty much how things are going at this time. Yes, one distraction after the other, and many of the truths of that will start to unlock eventually. But we do see a lot of infrastructures in society begin to change. Basically, America is going to become more simplified over time, and just maybe not always a safe. You will find safety eventually, but it has to change first. It has to go through a society shift and then adjust to it. It hasn't quite activated itself just yet, where things become more simpler. Now, people want the digital currencies and all that. That's another control system. That's up to you. Many of you want any currency to go away altogether. And those are more positive timelines. Some need that change. They need that control of themselves. Well, because they still enjoy it. To them, it's like a roller coaster, especially when they can predict where it's going. The financial markets, to them, it's their entertainment. But for some of you, it's like, you know what? Can we not go through that anymore? So there will be some here that don't need money, and others that want it, and others that need it. The ones that want it will probably have all the money. The ones that need it, the ones that want to survive, because they're not ready to be free of it. They're not ready to free themselves of the system just yet. So that's where you're heading. If some of you just don't want money at all, you'll find some way. Obviously, you're not into that frequency quite yet, but you are, sort of yes, sort of no. You're basically going to more of a freedom frequency. And what does that mean? No one's telling you what to do. You don't have a queen that's telling you what to do. You don't have a government telling you what to do. And that's a timeline that you're working towards also. Of course, some of you are already on that timeline technically. You're not listening to any of this stuff. You're going against the rules, which is a good thing. As long as you get away with it, that's quite fine. We do see some of your third world countries or hostile countries they're going to go through some stuff. But darkness into light eventually. Yeah, the world is going to change. This year is going to have a lot of shifts, a lot of society earthquakes within itself, a lot of awakenings. And yes, the aliens, the space energies are going to gradually increase, but not heavily. Everything is one thing at a time. But there are those elites that treat your world like a poker game. It's just the way it is. You're just going to have to get used to it. And there are those that are putting bets on society. That's why it's hard to predict the future sometimes. Some of you are part of those games, at least observing. Some of you want nothing to do with it. That's why it's hard to predict the future because you don't want to see what, you don't really want to see what the hell, you don't want to be part of it. So if you look at yourself in astral, you visualize yourself in astral and you can, it's like, think of like how many of you are actually want to go to a casino and watch this crap go on. You don't want to see it, right? Well, think of that same thing in astral, where you know a game is going on and you don't want to be a part of it. So it's hard to predict the future when you're not even looking at it. Some of you might hear rumors of the future. You might be outside of it. You're not really seeing how, because it's disgusting how things are going. So give me a little bit of a glimpse of why certain information is out there and why certain information is not. Some of you just don't want to see what's going on because it just makes you sick. It's completely understood. Who wants to see that? I mean, you want to see humanity being like just thrown around like it's nothing. That is a little bit heavy. I mean, even if you can sustain it and handle it, do you really want to see that? No. You want to see the more positive realities. You want to bring in a more positive vibration to reality so you know what you need to know without witnessing, society being juggled around like it's, like it's a lottery. So we're just putting that out there for somebody to tap into. You could probably feel it. The game in astral, it does exist. Doesn't mean you want to be a part of it. Doesn't want you to see it, but it does not mean it still does. So it doesn't exist because it does exist. And you know it does. And we're just bringing it out there for you to tap into.